In this video, I want to show you how you can calculate the grade that you need on exam number 2 in order to achieve whatever grade you're hoping to get out of the class, an A, a B, whatever. It all starts here in Blackboard. If you go to the My Grades portion, you will see your exam 1 percentage. I want you to write that down on a piece of paper. I've added 2 new columns. One is your average lab grade. The other is your average participation grade. You should have percentages here. I want you to write each of those down. One thing to be aware of: these averages are based on what you've completed thus far. So if you have not yet done lab for week 7 or the participation points for week 7, then these averages will not include those scores, and the averages will change once you have submitted those scores. Your grade for this course is based on 4 things: exam 1, exam 2, your average lab score, and your average participation score. Exams 1 and 2 each are worth 30% of your course grade. Your average lab score is also worth 30% of your course grade, and the average participation score is worth 10% of your course grade. Anything that's been submitted thus far cannot be changed, and there is no opportunity to redo something that you didn't do as well as or at all in the past. The grades that you have are the grades that you have. If you convert this into the formula for calculating your semester grade, you convert the percentages to decimals, so the 30% becomes a 0.3, and you multiply by your score for each element. Whatever your percentage was for exam 1 score, multiply it by 0.3. We don't know the score for exam 2, so we're going to call that X, as you'll see in a moment. You'll take your average lab score, multiply it by 0.3, and you'll take your average participation score and multiply it by 0.1. Here's an example. Let's say that you have 79% on exam 1, your average lab score is 92%, and your average participation is 90%. You're going to plug these numbers in to that formula, and it will look like this: 0.3 times 79 plus 0.3x, since we don't know what your exam 2 score is yet, plus 0.3 times 92 plus 0.1 times 90. And in this case, I've put in greater than or equal to 90. If I'm trying to get an A in the course, the minimum grade percentage for an A is 90%. So I want to know what I have to get on this exam, what X has to be, in order for my score to be greater than or equal to 90. Now, maybe you're trying to get an A, so you'll do the same thing. Maybe you're trying to just pass the class, so you would put in 60%, which is the lowest passing score. And then you simplify this equation, which we'll do here. So this is the same equation. I'm just going to do the multiplication. So 0.3 times 79 is 23.7. 0.3x is just 0.3x. 0.3 times 92 is 27.6. And 0.1 times 90 is 9. Everything else has just been brought down. Next, I identify that I have like terms, these constant terms, and I'm going to add them together. They add to 60.3, and I just bring the rest of the equation down. So 60.3 plus 0.3x is greater than or equal to 90. Next, I want to isolate the x, and I start doing that by subtracting the 60.3 from both sides of the inequality. When I do that, I get 0.3x on the left-hand side. I bring down the inequality sign, and then 90 minus 60.3 leaves me with a difference of 29.7. I still want to isolate the x, so next I'm going to divide by 0.3 on both sides. And when I do that, I get x is greater than or equal to 99. So this tells me that I need to get a 99% on exam number 2 if I want to get an A in the course with the grades that I used in this example. So that's a pretty tall order. but it gives me an idea of how much I have to study, or maybe to sort of expect that perhaps a B is a closer goal. So you can do the same thing by reading off your 3 grades from Blackboard in the My Grades section. Those are for your Exam 1, your average lab, and your average participation, keeping in mind that your average lab and average participation will change if and when you submit your final lab and participation assignments for this week. Okay, so you can figure out what grade you need to get.